Hi, this is Wacker. I'm going to quickly go through the initial part of launching the Black Ops 3 mod tools. As I go and learn more about the new Radiant and asset tools and anything else that comes up, I'm going to start adding some tutorials to this, but let's launch them up. One of the important things to note is I'm part of the alpha team, so there's a limited amount of people testing this at the moment while we work out the bugs along with Treyarch and others. There are some things that I can tell you and there's some things I can't tell you, so I may be cryptic, I may not be cryptic. So, when the program launches, you are presented with a quite basic interface, which is nothing wrong with that. There are two main programs to consider. Firstly is the asset editor, which I'm not going to go into great detail on at the moment, other than if you have custom textures or other assets that you want to bring in, this is where you're going to do it. As I say, it's my second day in, not really had any time to play with the assets, so we'll look at the editor first. Now, we'll launch Radiant through here, and it's called the Black Edition. First time opening it, I thought, oh gosh, this is a bit different, reminded me a bit more of Unreal and other type editors. But once you look around, you realise it's not too dissimilar from other Radiants. I think Treyarch have done a good job presenting this tool to us. It's currently loading up a map that I had open last. The first time though you open the sample map, which is the MP Combine map, it will take an age. And when I say an age, on my PC it murdered my processor for a while. I've got an SSD where the files are, but it had to unpack a load of files. That probably took about 22 minutes in total. That's interesting. I've not seen this one before. It's doing live update processing. So we'll give this a minute to go through. Must have been an update to the files which I hadn't noticed. But as soon as we get in, I can work my way around it. Now, I've already turned off a number of textures so they don't display. The old tricks work well, so if you press the F key, you get the options then to start hiding things. What I've done here, I've taken a load of clips off and other brushes, hint skip, monster clip, non-colliding, no draw, mainly because on my rig it does sort of grind a little bit. I've only got a 650 Ti graphic card and a 6-core processor, so it would be sluggish if I was moving around it in a 3D mode. Now to navigate and look around the 3D mode, it's the same as good old Radiant. You could remap your keys if you're familiar with Unreal. What I would suggest doing though is go with what there is. I can use the scroll wheel on my mouse to zoom in and out. I can also pan around and move forwards by using the mouse pushing backwards and forwards, left and right. The A and the Z key allow me to tilt up and down, and C and D give me my height. And to be honest, that's all I really need. I mean, I can do things quite quickly. You should be able to recognise this map relatively quickly from it is the Combine map. It's a tradition that all mod tools usually have a sample map, and this is the one they've chosen. It's a nice small map, so I kind of get why they've chosen it, and all the assets are there. If we select the map, you'll suddenly notice the whole lot is selected. You're thinking, oh wowzers, what's going on here? How could I even edit it if I wanted to modify this map and make my own version? It's because it is a prefab. So we need to enter the prefab. And then we can start selecting bits. And so when I select there, I'm into another bit of a prefab, and we can then drill into the prefab again. And this is the way they've made it. So now I'm only looking at this prefab, so I could, if I wanted, take that whole bridge and car section out, and that would be gone from the map, and I could put anything I wanted in. What I am going to do though, I'm going to go back a bit. So if I go back to prefab, I'm going to leave the prefab. I don't want to save changes. I'm I'm happy in this part of it. No, in fact, no, I'll go back another stage. I'll leave the prefab again, so we're back to the very beginning. And if I go over this end, so if I go over to here, so we've got the little walkway area here. I want to put a model here, so there is a thing called the entity browser. If I go into this, you will see that we have various options to put in here, and I'm going to go into MISC and think MISC model. So let's have a look at the models. If I go to models, if you can just notice up here, this will appear. It was already loaded on my session, but if I close it just to prove the point, go to models, it should, there it goes, load in. So do you know what, that walkway looks a bit boring to me. I want to put something in it. So we can look at the stock models that are currently available. I'm not saying every model is available at the moment because we've only been given a sample set of data and we are only testing. We're not looking to make and release maps at the moment. This is really just trying to iron out the bugs. So yeah, that's a big water tower. I think that'd be too, but we have the pillar maybe. So this is a bit extreme. So I'm going to zoom in, and if we can just see, this is my player stance or my view where I am at the moment. I'm going to drop that there, go back to the camera view, and there is my model. And what I think it is, it's at the wrong height, so I want it to go about there. So we'll drop it there, press escape, and hey presto, that model that I had selected is now in there. So if I was to choose, save that and compile it and run around it, which I'm not going to do, you would then see that model there. It's no different to any other Radiant really. You just drop the model in. The same keys work when you want to flick around the views. If you hold down Control and press Tab, I can look at different views for this. Not a lot really else to say about this, and this is just a bit of a flavour of what we're looking at. I've only had a couple of hours looking at this, in honesty. I've been looking at other parts of the program, and I hope to bring you some tutorials. We're going to go into the usual sort of things, creating terrain meshes. There are a lot of talented people about, and I'm sure you'll probably end up doing better jobs than I will, but hopefully it will give you an idea of what we are able to do. And all I can say is Treyarch have delivered, and it may have surprised some of us because we all know that the Call of Duty franchise for PC has been neglected considerably lately. So I'm looking forward to testing these tools further, and more importantly, I'm looking forward to when they're finally released and you guys make some wonderful maps. So that was a brief